Hi, welcome to Sizzling Pots. I'm Jo Sawant with yet another episode. Today I'm gonna make biryani. There are many different ways to make biryani and there are many ingredients with which you can make biryani. So here it is. I am going to show you a very healthy way of making shrimp biryani, which is free of dairy product. We need about 2.5 pounds of shelled, deveined and headless shrimps, 4 cups of long grain rice. I'm using basmati rice here. You can use any other long grain rice. 3 medium onions sliced lengthwise. 2 tomatoes finely chopped. 1 15-ounce can of tomato puree. Black peppercorns, about half a teaspoon. 7 to 8 cloves. Half a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and about 3 to 4 cinnamon sticks, 3 bay leaves, and 3 whole black cardamoms, 1.5 tablespoon of coriander powder, 2 tablespoons of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. This is saffron and I have soaked it in soya milk. Ginger garlic paste, about 1 tablespoon. Olive oil, about 3 tablespoons. You can use any other oil. Green chilies, 2 sliced lengthwise. 2 cups of fresh cilantro, roughly chopped. About 1.5 cup of fried onions. And then tamarind paste, about 1/4 cup, and then the salt to taste, and that's all we need. Let's go ahead and see how to make this now. You want to soak your rice for at least half an hour. It will be really good if you do it for an hour. So now let's go ahead and marinate our shrimp first. First of all, we're going to take a mixing bowl and then we are going to add salt. I'm adding half my red chilies to this, and then I'm adding the turmeric powder, and then add the tamarind paste and mix the whole thing completely. We are going to put all the shrimps in this and then coat it completely with this marinade. This marination you need to keep for about 15 to 20 minutes. So friends, first of all, we're going to cook our rice. The rice needs to be cooked about 90%, and then the 10% it's going to cook with the shrimps. And I have taken about 8 cups of water and brought it to a boil. I am going to add salt to this. When we boil the rice in it, it will get nicely flavored. So once you added the salt, you're going to add about 1 teaspoon of olive oil in this. Go ahead and add your bay leaves. Now I'm adding the black whole cardamoms, and finally I'm adding the cumin seeds to this. This has come to a nice boil now, and now I'm going to add the rice, and it needs to nicely come to a boil. Friends, as you can see, our rice is almost 90% done now. We don't want to cook it any longer. Now I'm going to just shut it off, drain all the water, and I'm going to run a little bit of cold water on top so that it stops cooking completely, and we don't want it to cook any more than the 90% that we have done. So now let's go ahead and see how to make the gravy or the sauce. So first of all, we need a large heavy bottom. It's very important that you use a heavy bottom vessel. Your lower stuff will not burn then. And I'm going to add all the olive oil that we have. Adding the cloves, then I'm adding the peppercorns, then I'm adding the cinnamon sticks, and then the fenugreek seeds. The fenugreek seeds, also commonly known as methi seeds in India, they really go very well with fish and shrimps, any of the seafoods. I am going to add my onions to this. We're going to add a little bit of salt to the onions, and what the salt does is helps to cook the onions faster. And what we're going to do is close the lid and let the onions cook until they're nice and brown and thoroughly cooked from inside. So our onions are completely cooked now and they are nice and brown, add the red chili powder, all of it. And you want to add the red chili powder before you add the tomatoes, because then it kind of brings out the color of the red chili powder even more. Then add the coriander powder, add the ginger garlic paste, and we want to saute it a little bit. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes. A little more salt, just want to season a little more. Mix it well, close the lid for another 4 to 5 minutes until your tomatoes are completely cooked. I am going to add the tomato paste, mix everything well, cook until the oil separates from the gravy. So now our gravy is completely done. Now I'm going to add all the shrimps and the marinated shrimps that we had. I'm adding to this. I'm not going to cook these shrimps too much in the gravy. I'm just going to let it be where, you know, all the sauce kind of coated well to it, and yet it's not completely cooked. And then we're going to start layering it up, and we're going to cook in the rice for about 15 minutes, and the rice is also 90% done. So the 10% of rice and the remaining shrimp, when they cook together, perfect cooked shrimps with perfect cooked rice. That's the style of biryani. So let's do that. They are nice and coated now. So now let's go ahead and layer our biryani. After we put the shrimps, I'm going to put the green chilies and spread it around. I'm going to take cilantro. We're going to put about 3/4 of it in this. Now I'm going to put the fried onions, about 3/4 of this too. And what the fried onion does, it not only gives a nice and crispy but nice and sweet flavor to the whole thing. Now we are going to go ahead and add the rice. Once you put the rice, you level it up, then you add a little more of the fried onions and the rest of the fresh cilantro. And remember, we soaked the saffron in the soya milk. I have also added a little bit of turmeric powder in this, and it just brings out more color to the rice. And I'm going to dribble this on top of the rice. This is it. All you got to do is close the lid and keep it for good 15 minutes. You do not want to open it. You want to do it on the medium-high heat and just make sure it cooks and it's nice and steaming. So the biryani has been cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes. You have to make sure that it is nice and steaming up on the top. And say if your biryani has been cooking for 15 minutes, like I said, but it's not steamed up on the top, it's not done yet, you might want to put it for another 5 minutes. That's what I had to do it. And now it's nice and steaming, looks great, brought all the colors out, and amazing. My mouth is really watering now. So friends, our delicious shrimp biryani is ready now. It looks absolutely great. The shrimps are rightly cooked, not overcooked, completely done. And the rice is done too. And it is layered really well. It looks great. Let's go in and see how it tastes. So I'm going to take a little bite of the shrimp also. This is absolutely mind-blowing. The shrimp is so nice and moist inside. The rice is fluffy and it's so flavorful. It tastes absolutely out of the world. If you like this recipe and you want to take it down, please go to my website www.sizzlingpots.com for this recipe and much more. This is Jo Sawant signing off for today. Thank you so much for giving your time and watching me. Don't forget to leave your comments. Thanks again.